This is big breaking news. Urgent warnings have been issued for multiple different states due to extreme weather events that are going to take place over the next week. Officials are warning people to prepare now and get ready before these storms hit in the next 24 to 48 hours. So let's get into all the details here really quick, guys. Please hit that like and hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos every day, keeping you guys updated on this big news, and it just helps to get these alerts out. I appreciate that. So we have two big events happening right now. We have a almost Hurricane 2. This is hurricane force level winds. A level 2 hurricane is hitting the Pacific coast right now, right? And this thing almost looks like a hurricane too. And the span of this is stretching thousands of miles, right? The outer bands of this weather system is going from the Pacific West Coast all the way to Hawaii, Honolulu. It's stretching. So this thing is thousands of miles wide, and it has hurricane force winds, right? Category 2 force winds, and we're expecting flooding and possibly even tornadoes happening in places like Oregon and Washington and Northern California. We're also seeing over a year's worth of rain being dumped on parts of Texas in the next few days as well too. The governor has activated emergency responses. He has deployed the National Guard, and he is getting ready for this big flash flooding rain event that's going to take place over the next week in South Texas and Southeast Texas. This is going to start tonight and continue throughout the week. All right, he's activated the National Guard, and the Texas Department of Public Safety as well have been activated. All right, he said here, quote, Texas is prepared to deploy all resources needed to support local communities in the South and Southeast Texas as they prepare to respond to severe weather and flash flooding. So he's getting the assets ready to help people, and if you get the evacuation order to leave, you need to leave, right? Because they are anticipating, or sorry if I said a year, a half a year's worth of rain as a severe thunderstorm is hitting Texas, right? It says here up to a half a year's worth of rain will drench parts of South Texas starting late Wednesday as a storm develops in northern Mexico and taps into the Gulf of America's moisture and warmth. It says the heavy rain will continue and become widespread Wednesday night and into Thursday. It says rainfall rates could reach 2 to 3 inches per hour at times, sending totals skyrocketing, right? And they're worried that this flooding is going to happen near Corpus Christi, Texas, is going to get hit the hardest. And we've seen areas like Houston, Texas before be completely flooded and underwater from these storms and from this rain. So we could see just south of there in places like Corpus Christi and San Antonio could have severe flooding. Even Houston could have severe flooding too. It looks like they might dodge it, but we will see exactly where the storm goes. So if you're in this area, just make sure you are stocked up, ready to go for you to be potentially trapped in your home for a few days, right? And maybe the power might go out as well too. So you might want to fill up your car tanks, your gas tanks, and your gas tanks for your generator as well too. It says here that, quote, unfortunately, the setup looks good enough to be a case where it's beneficial rain initially, but then quickly overwhelms even the dry soil conditions. This is what the Weather Prediction Center is warning. They're saying that the area is extremely dry, and the sudden amount of rain could cause flash flooding. It says a level 3 of 4 risk of flooding rain is in place Wednesday in South Texas, including Corpus Christi, and the same risk levels in place Thursday from Corpus Christi just south of Houston along the state's Gulf Coast, according to the center. All right, so they're worried there could be flash flooding, mudslides, and washouts, right, in this area. So be on the lookout for that. They're anticipating potentially over 10 inches of rain over the next 7 days in southern Texas. So this is a lot, all right? And this water doesn't have anywhere to go. And just like they said, the soil is dry. So if you've ever like watered your plants when the plant pot is really dry and you dump a bunch of water on it, it kind of just runs off of it, all right? It doesn't really trickle down and absorb into the soil good. It kind of runs off. It takes a little while. You have to do it slowly for the water to absorb into the dry dirt or soil, right? And it's the same thing for rain. A little bit will absorb into the ground, but most of it is going to just wash off and run off and create flooding, right? So that's another issue too, is that ground is not going to absorb a lot of this moisture because it's so dry. It says that some areas are even anticipated to have over a foot of rain in places like Corpus Christi, right? That's what they're saying. So at least like around 10 inches to a foot. And they're saying that it could even approach 15 inches if the city is trapped under the heaviest rain. It says Corpus Christi has never had 8 inches or more of rain from a storm before June, according to analysis of the NOAA data. So this is a big storm. It's going to cause major issues for Texas. And then there's another storm on the West Coast right now in the Pacific Ocean that is moving inland, right? It's going to bring power outages, severe wind, flooding. They're already dealing with flooding in South Oregon right now. Also, it says the Pacific Northwest could be pummeled by, quote, egg-sized hail as well, too, during this thunderstorm. It says a level 2 of 5 risk of severe thunderstorm is in place Wednesday for parts of Washington and Oregon, including the cities of Seattle and Portland, according to the Storm Prediction Center. It says here that large hail from the size of quarters up to the size of chicken eggs is possible, according to officials and the Storm Prediction Center. It says it's the first time on record that the outlook for hail this large has happened in Washington and Oregon, according to NOAA data. All right, so first time they've predicted this large of hail in both states at the same time. And it says here that Wednesday's level 2 of 5 severe thunderstorm risk is the most substantial threat ever issued this early in the year in Washington state. Right, so a lot of these things are coming early. It's the most amount of rain they've had in Corpus Christi this early in the year before June, and also the most severe thunderstorm alert that they've had in Washington state on record this early in the year. It says typically a few severe thunderstorms roar through the Pacific Northwest later in the season and through the summer. So if you do experience this hail, right, make sure you stay away from your windows. Maybe move your car in your garage, or even just cover it with like a tarp or something could just help to minimize the damage. All right, I've been in, little pellet-sized hail before, and things like my RV and home, stuff like that. But in my RV especially, I've been worried like this hail might come through the ceiling. All right, it's not very strong, and I already had some like patches on it, right? With some like super sticky RV tape, some rubber tape, whatever it's called, for some holes, some patches on the roof. And I was worried this hail might come through the roof, right? It's one of these things when it's beating on the roof, you're like, all right, is this going to hold up? Is everything going to be okay? Is it going to break a window? It's actually very damaging. I've seen pictures where it's destroyed entire solar fields, solar farms, where all the solar panels are destroyed, right? And made a huge mess, massive cleanup operation. And it could happen to your home too. It could happen to your car, your windows. So make sure you stay away from these things if you're in the middle of these hailstorms. A good thing about hail is most of the time it's quickly passing. It normally doesn't last that long. It's normally, a few minutes, maybe 30 minutes, but you're normally not experiencing hailstorms for like hours at a time like you could with thunderstorms. It's normally just like a passing thing. So let me know what you guys think down below. Please hit it up for me down there. It helps to get these warnings out, get these alerts out so people know and can get ready. If you're in these states, just have a stockpile and be prepared to not leave your house potentially for the next week if you can. I know people have to go to work, things like that, but stay home as much as possible. So thank you guys. I hope you have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.